Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. We are going to start the program right now. Please, but I will crave your indulgence to please move forward. Please, those at the back, want you people to be seated from the first four rows as much as possible. Please, can we move forward quickly, quickly, quickly? Because we are starting with the anthems right now. Please, these first four rows, please, should be filled. Thank you. If you are not on the first four rows, you are wrong. Can we please move quickly, 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 please? Thank you. Shall we all rise for the anthems, please? Shall we all rise for the anthems? BCC, we are waiting. Truth and justice reign in peace over to honor, and this we count as gain, to pass on to our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. Thank you. Let's kindly be seated. Before we go to the welcome address, I just want to take a few minutes to introduce the people on the high table here. I know they are well known to most of us, but it will be good if we introduce them once again. I want to introduce the Provost of the College of Medicine, in the person of Professor T.O. Ogundiran, FAS. You're welcome, sir. And of course, next to him, we have the Secretary to the College of Medicine, our own Mr. A.E. Odedele. You're welcome, sir. And then the Baba Olowo of the college, in the person of Mr. S.O. Ayanshino. You can see his agbada is different. You know his Baba Olowo. On the other side of the divide, we have the Dean of the Faculty of Clinical Sciences, Professor T.A. Lawal. You're welcome, sir. And then the Dean of the Faculty of Public Health, Professor M.D. Dairo. You're welcome, sir. And of course, our lecturer of today. It's nice to see you here this morning, sir. In the person of Dr. B.R Ojebuyi from Department of Communication and Language Arts. You're very much welcome, sir. Once again, I want to say Happy Valentine's Day. And I believe that after today's program, the BCC, they have promised us that there will be a little bit of dance, just to say, I love you to your neighbor. Thank you very much. Now, we invite our provost to give his welcome address.
Thank you very much. Let me start on a lighter mood. I hope there are no people who are going to be kidnapping people around. If there are, the person to kidnap is the Babolu of College of Medicine. The rest of us, there's no money in our pockets. The secretary to the college, our financial controller, Babolu of the College of Medicine. That's a new title. The Dean of the Faculty of Clinical Sciences and the Dean of the Faculty of Public Health. Our distinguished lecturer of today, Dr. B.R Ojebuyi. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen. All our people online and everybody here, I welcome you to today's edition of this program, which I believe is very important for us and to us in the College of Medicine. We all know that this program has been taking place for quite some time, and I hope and believe that we are making use of all that we learn or gain from these activities, not just only for our services to the College of Medicine, but they are also aimed at improving the quality of our lives. Every opportunity to learn or relearn something, even old facts or new things, is an opportunity to grow and to develop and to be the best that we can be. We should understand the fact that the day we stop learning, that's the day we start deteriorating. And that's the day we start dying gradually. And you know that knowledge is increasing exponentially. What we knew last year is still in the context of today. And so therefore we need to improve on our activities, our knowledge. In academics, what we taught 2 or 3 years ago today may not be the same. That's why we need to keep refreshing ourselves, going for conferences and all that, so that we can be abreast of the new developments in our field. Now, this has been brought to us at our desk step in our front door, so that we don't have to go anywhere, but to have this while we're here. It's a unique opportunity that we have. We don't have to go to outside of Ibadan or the nation, but we have brought the lecturers here to teach us what they will be teaching others outside. So let's maximize this opportunity and not just listen. Let's also apply what we learn. And I wish us this day a very fruitful session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Without wasting our time too much, we normally have like a 5 or 10 minutes of a practical session with the ITU. So I would like to invite Mr. A.A. Adetule for the session.
The provost, all other protocols duly observed. This morning, we want to remind or re-educate members of the college community on our intranet page. When we talk about intranet is, let me use the layman language, is what we do within. Why internet is what is done outside the college. So what we do within, you cannot access it outside the college. So our intranet is within the college. No matter how you try to access it from home, is not possible for now. The only way that it is possible to access this intranet from home is if we have a VPN. And presently, college don't operate a VPN. So on our intranet page on the college, there is a particular option. It is called the network option. I thought I am on already. Projection, I thought I'm on. Okay, I will do it from here. So this is the intranet page of the college. There is a network account. Many people come to the office all the time and say, ITU have cut us off from the internet. ITU have, and I ask them, I always answer and says that we have over 2,000 people on the internet, on the network of the college, over 2,000 people. How can I single-handedly go and shut down somebody? I don't even have the time. Most of the staff in the unit don't even have the time to go and disable the account of anybody. So it's not going to be possible that we disable account. This is where the account of the college is being managed. All our accounts in the colleges is where you can manage. We manage your personal account, and it's called the network account. And when we click this network account, it's going to take us to this page. Look at this page critically. It will take you to this page, and you will be able to enter your username and your password. The username that you normally use to browse the internet on the college network. That is what we are going to put there, or for your email. Some of us don't use college internet, but we use college email. So, but another problem we have for the past 3 months now, we have been seeing that password of people have been hacked. Maybe by their friends, maybe because they are careless on the internet, and they give us a lot of trouble. And many people don't even know how to change their password. And that is what we want to use this one to quickly do in 5 minutes, so that you will know that this tool is available. But many people will come to ITU because they want to change their password. I'm saying it very, this is what is very common within us, and the tool is available here. You don't need to come to ITU to say that you want to change your password. You just come to this platform, click the network account, and it will take you here. You enter your username and your password, and it will give you another page. I don't want to use my slide because of our time. That is it. I want to go directly. And you can see, immediately you enter, it will give us this: home, change password, extend access, and log out. So the first one is to change your password. You just click it. If you want to change your password, you click this place, and it will give you minimum of 8 characters. Enter your new password. Re-enter your password. This is where you can change your password on the college page. And when you do this, then you submit it, and your password has been changed. So many times people will say somebody is using my account, and I said, if somebody is using your account, it's not ITU that gave the password to that person. It's you. Or maybe somebody is watching you when you are entering your password and is able to capture your password. So that reason we normally advise every month, check yourself. Do you think your password is fine? But the normal practice is that every 3 months, learn to change your password. Just learn it. Make it an habit. Every 3 months, you want to change your password. Change it, and just change something inside that particular password. You may not change all. You may just change something inside that your particular password, so that you will be safe and you'll be secure. This is very, very important that we need to mention, because we have been having account being hacked, and also when your account is hacked, they will have access to our network. External forces, intruders will be able to have access to our network if they are able to hack your own accounts. There is a way they enter into the network if they have access to your account. So we will not be struggling to identify your account, disable it, contact you for you to change your password, and all the rest. So this is the provision has been made there. You can do it by yourself. Then another option is how to extend your account. When you click this extend your account, it will give expiring dates. Because some people, we normally receive call every month. You want to know the time our departmental account will expire. It is also this page. You can see that is expiring date. The reason why it's not giving me expiring date is because I'm a super user. There are some people, all the academic staff in the college, they are super users. So their account don't expire because they deduct their money from the source. So that reason is not putting expiring date. But for individuals that normally pay every month, there is going to be an expiring date. So you don't need to call ITU. You can check your account to see whether your account has expired or whether your account is still on. And if you want to know the time your account will expire, you can easily see it here. It will bring it out, the date the account will expire for you. So this is a short teaser that we are giving you from ITU this morning. Thank you very much.
Please, another round of applause for Mr. Adetule. Thank you very much, sir, for that short teaser. While he was talking, our own medical librarian came in. So I would like to introduce her in the person of Dr. Grace Ajuwon. You're welcome, ma. And then, the Dean of Basic Medical Sciences, Professor Odunla, is ably represented this morning by Dr. Bose Urimadegun. You're welcome, ma. Now, to go to the real deal of today. Please, while the lecture is going on, I would like every one of us to please take down your notes. And then if you have questions, please begin to write them down. Don't wait until the lecture is over before you think of what to ask. As the lecture is ongoing, kindly put down your questions so that we can take them as fast as possible. And now, I would like to invite our lecturer of today, Dr. B.R Ojebuyi. You're welcome, sir. A round of applause, please.
Good morning, the Provost. Good morning, the Bossa, Secretary, the Librarian, the Deans. Thank you very much. I greet everyone, and I thank the college for this opportunity, the trust, to invite me to come and give this lecture. And I also thank Dr. Yinka Igbuhare. She's our ambassador here, and you have overused her. Yes, because we are missing her, and we may come to bring her back home anytime. So today, this morning, sir? It's not home. Not home. Home is in CLA. Yes. So I thank you once again. My task this morning is just to take us through some of the things that we have known already. It's just a kind of, just to refresh ourselves, because if we say verb, agreement, we have been taught all of this, we have been using this. But we just have to look at them in the context of what we are doing in the college. Because we are now members of organization. And anytime we are asked to write something, some people will read. And whatever we write will represent the image of the college. And that is why whatever we write must be formal. And today, the focus of this presentation is to look at the technicalities of the use of language. And we are focusing on 3 important channels of communication in the organization: memos, letters, and reports. These are important documents that we need in the organization. We call them organizational communication channels. We have these official channels, we have letters, we have memos, we have reports. They are different. They have different uses. But this morning is not the time to look at their different structures. Our focus is language, but we have to know that they are different. For letters, we know what you use letters for. Letters may be more personal or personalized when you are writing somebody in the organization. Memos may travel horizontal or vertical. It can go from one officer to the other to communicate official matters. Then we talk of reports. Report is usually lengthy most times. It can go through pages, and it has its own format and technicalities. But in all of this, they have one unique characteristics: formal use of language. And when we talk of letters, we have different types of letters. We have formal, informal, semi-formal. The one we are talking about this morning is the formal letter. Because when you are writing informal letters, you are free to use any slang that you like with your friends. But when you are writing official letters, we must observe all of this. And one thing I want to talk about in letter is that when we write letters, please, the official letter must have a heading. That heading must communicate the message. It is very wrong to write a letter and say, letter of apology, letter of invitation, or letter of something. It is unnecessary repetition. Don't put letter in the heading of the letter again. It is letter. Apology or so. Invitation to inaugural lecture. Don't say letter of invitation. To what? That title must communicate the message as much as possible. Even if you don't read the body of the letter, if you read the title, you should know what the letter is all about. An official letter without a heading is not a letter. Nobody will treat it. We must try as much as possible. It's like you send an email to somebody. You just put attachment without any message. I always tell my students, if they submit an assignment to me, they attach the assignment without putting a message, at least just a word. Good morning, Ojebuyi. Don't say sir. Then I will know that you are dealing with a human being. You cannot just attach document and send the email to somebody. If you send to me, I won't open it. I'm dealing with one already now from one private university. The HOD sent a memo to me, a letter to me, an email to me without any message. I had to send back to, I didn't even respond. I called another person. And I told him that if not that I will have reported you to the Vice Chancellor because you are not representing the image of the university. Official document from the head of the department without any word. No good morning, no sir, nothing. And they want me to review the questions, so it is not appropriate. So this workshop, we explore the language of letters, memos, and reports. We don't have enough time, but I will try as much as possible to quickly run through them. When we are writing all these official documents, we must avoid colloquialisms. When we say colloquialism, we are talking of some expressions that sound awkward, old, and because we have overused them. Even sometimes when we want to say something, people will look at that. This is not formal in this. For example, you say somewhat, kind of, awfully wrong. For example, you say kind of, you can use somewhat. Somewhat is more formal than kind of. Kind of is better when you are discussing with your friend or you are writing a formal letter. The same thing with awfully wrong. This, what you have done is very wrong in formal setting. Don't say awfully wrong. Because when you say awfully wrong, you are moving beyond the official context. You are now impinging on the emotion and the person of that person. Because use of adjectives and adverbs may pass some judgment that we don't intend. So when we are writing official letters or memos, we should try to avoid what we call soft adjectives and adverbs because they can pass unintended judgment. We should also shun slangs and cliches. Slang is unofficial phrases that we use every day. I will give examples. And cliches are overused expressions, like trite expressions. When you start a cliche, before you finish it, people hand it for you because they have known it. If you say, all dick and what? What do you use? Dick and Harry. Yeah, nook and crannies. Yeah, before you finish it, people know it already. It is overused. Don't use them in formal writing. So professional tone is very important for us. They make our message to be positively received and the image of the organization is positively represented. Then, slang. When you talk of slang, they are informal expressions. They are words that are used in casual conversation. Casual conversation. Look at examples down there. The one that we use, I use Nigerian examples of slangs that we use now. Wahala, Japa, they play, they choke you, I go serve you breakfast. Waiting day, alpha, omo, all of this. And if you listen to your students, our students they are used to this already. Even some of my students in the hall, when I call them, they are talking to me, official conversation, student and hall wording. They will say, omo. I say, you are talking to me, I'm saying omo. I caught you using hot plates, and I want to punish you, I may pardon you because based on your body language, and you are saying omo in front of me. It is not good. If you don't train them, when they go for interview, they will say that, and they are disqualified already. Nobody will say anything. Just say, okay, fine, we will communicate you. Nothing will happen again. Cliches. Cliches, as I've said them, we should not use them. We have made a quantum leap in the college. Why can't we say we have made good progress? Instead of saying quantum leap. Who understand the word quantum leap when you are using them for other people? So be as simple as possible. Nothing to write home about. It is colloquial. It is trite. It's a cliche. It is not encouraging. Simple. Don't say nothing to write home about. And it has impact on formality. We should not use them because they affect our documents, and people will not treat our document well when they see all those instances there. Then, language of letters, memos, and reports are technical, they are precise, they are concrete. Now, when we talk of being specific, we must always try to say what we want, measurable terms that people can see and say, oh, this is what you are talking about. I put an example there. I would say most participants specify the percentage such as 75%. Sorry, I'm coming. Okay, 75% of the participants. Let's say you are reporting some people now. What they do? 75% of participants said that, agreed that. Don't say many of the participants. If you say many of the participants, how do I measure many? Tell the percentage. Another one, precision. Precision. Don't say somewhat. Don't say to some extent, to great extent. Which extent? For example, I say 7 out of 10 male students prefer ransom Kuti Hall. If you give that one to people in items, they understand what you mean. But if you say many students want to come to Kuti Hall, what is the meaning of many? So 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, certain percentage, they are more precise. Then we must use concrete naming. Some things, we call some nouns, common nouns. Common nouns represent a class of items or entities. But in some cases, we may want to be specific. When we say food, food is food. I need food. Then I can give you Indomie. But you don't want it. Indomie is not food to me. But you didn't say Indomie. You didn't want Indomie. You said you want what? Food. Tell me what you want. So when we are reporting, for example here, when you say, the mass media is good to teach the farmers about climate change. The mass media. That is too unprecise. It's a general name. Instead of saying mass media, say radio. Because newspaper cannot teach farmers. And you cannot use internet to teach farmers. They are in the bush. But you can take radio to their place there. So be very specific. Radio is better than mass comm. When you are working, you are making references. Then malaria instead of sickness. Oh, my child is having sickness. What sickness? You have to be specific. So all of these are very important. Sorry. And when we are using abbreviations and acronyms, we can use them. We can use them. But the rule is that initial use, we must write everything out and put the abbreviation or the acronym in brackets. Then in the subsequent use, we can now use the acronym. People already know. However, if we have a lengthy report where we may have too many of these acronyms and abbreviations, what we do is that we create a section at the end of the report where we put all of the acronyms there and we put their definitions so that people can refer to that page and see the meaning of those acronyms. Then, numerical expressions. Sometimes, all of these come up in reports and people don't know how to use numerals. When we are using numerals, there are rules. If we have word that is, values, numerical values, between 1 and 9, if you are writing them, you must write them in words. Don't write in figures. From 1 to 9, if you are writing. But if you have 10 and above, you can write in figures. And when you, if it is for measurement, of course, that rule does not apply. If you want to say 5 milligram, you don't write 5 in word, you write in figure. So for measurement, for reference to tables, to figures, that rule does not apply. Don't say table 1 and write 1 in word, write in figure. Figure 10, figure 9, figure 8, write in figure. But if it is sentence, anything that is less than 10, if it is 1 to 9, you must write in word. If it is more than that, you write in figures. And when you are starting a sentence, either it is less than 10 or it is more than 10, you must not start a sentence with a figure. Don't start a sentence and say 70%. You now write 70% as figure. No. You must write it out in full. Don't start a sentence with a figure. You must start a sentence with a word, no matter whether it is less than 10 or more than 10. And if you are expressing common fractions in report writing, write out in word. 1/3 of Nigerians lives in the cities. Don't say 1/3, no. It should be written in words. Then common language problems that we always have affect everybody, even some professors of language. The most common one is agreement. Agreement may come in different forms. It may be subject-verb agreement. It may be pronoun-antecedent agreement. So let's look at this one now. When you talk of agreement, the common one is the verb, a subject-verb agreement. The rule says that when you have a singular subject, the verb must be singular. Ade comes here every day. Ade is singular, comes is also singular. We now say Ade and Olu, it's no more comes. It's what? Ade and Olu come here every day. That is agreement. And it's the basic rule. However, it is more complex than this. I cannot touch all of them. There are some nouns that may appear as plurals, but they are singulars. For example, you say crossroads. Windows in computer. Barracks. All of these, they appear in plural. But if you are using them, you use them as singular. There is one barracks. Don't say one barrack. Barracks is always plural. Whereabouts is always plural. Oh, is whereabouts is not known. Don't say is whereabouts are not known. And don't say whereabouts without S. All of these, we call them summation nouns. But they use singular verbs. However, sometimes we are always deceived by many things when we are using this, we are applying these rules. Proximity. When you write some stretch of words, certain word that is very close to the verb may be plural, but the one that the verb must agree with is not plural. But because the one that is close to the verb is plural, then we are tempted to use a plural verb. It will be a problem. I will give an example. Another one is interveners. Sometimes, when we want to be elegant, sometimes we may put some intervening variables. We may put them in between our major verbs and noun. And what is coming between may be something that is plural. And then with the verb, we don't know where the verb should go. And number two may confuse us. Let us see some of these examples. Deception by proximity. Look at this. Over the years, the main message here is over the years. Over the years, established radio stations have or has not been concern of government. Now, if you look at it, establishing is that gerund, is that noun. It's not a verb. It may sound as a verb. Establish is a verb, but establish in this context is no more a verb. It has become a noun. So establishing community radio stations. You can see that stations is plural, and it's very close to the verb. So you now see have or has. Which one is the answer? Has, because the verb must agree with establishing, not with radio stations. For example, in some cases you say the provost together with his staff visits the clinic every Monday, or visit the clinic every Monday. Which one is the correct answer? Visits. Yeah. But you can say that, I said, the provost together with his staff or with his family members. That anytime you see together with, including, or with, the verb must agree with the verb with the first noun, which is singular. But if you have the word and, the provost and his family, then you use a plural verb. They can mislead us. Then interveners, look at this. We have Ivan, we have another Ivan, that is parenthesis. The main message here is the report appears to have been written in a hurry. But we put something between, additional information. Sometimes you can use a bracket to enclose it. Sometimes you can use parentheses. The report, and this is common to reports by similar agencies, appears to have been written in a hurry. Which one is the answer? Appears, because the verb is working with the report, not with similar agencies. Another one here is, confusion by number. The committee has or have turned in their report. Which is the answer here? As. No. No. Look at the pronoun. There. There is suggesting that we have used the committee as plural. Collective nouns can be used either as plural or as singular. It depends on the house style or the context, but we must be consistent. If you want to use committee as singular, we change there to what? Its. So if you say the committee has turned in its report, it's correct. If you say the committee have turned in their report is correct. We must be consistent with the pronoun. That is very important. So we are always confused by this many times. But it's a matter of style, our style most sometimes. Then pronouns. Pronouns always confuse us. They confuse us. Anytime I'm teaching use of English, I tell my students, I ask them one question. The food is for you and me. The food is for you and I. Which one is correct? The food is for you and... If you are my student, you are failed though. Yes. The food is for you and me. It's not the food is for you and I. I and you, we eat the food. The food is for you and me. Because you have to observe the cases. Subject, object, and possessive. We have three cases in pronoun. If all the first one, we call them the subject. I, you, she, and so on and so forth. Then we have the objective one. And one of the rules says that when a pronoun is coming after a preposition, it must be an object. Listen to that rule. When a pronoun is coming after a what? A preposition, it must be an object. So when we say the food is for is a preposition, then we must not take from the subject group. We take from here. It's for you and me. It's for you and me. And if it is coming, if a pronoun is coming after the verb be is, are, or any of those variants, it must be subject. If I say, if you knock the door and they ask you, who is there? And you want to answer, do you say it's me or it's I? Let's speak, please. It may sound, listen, it may sound awkward, but the correct one is I. Because the pronoun is coming after the verb be, is. If it's coming before the verb, or if it is coming before the verb or after the verb be, it is a subject. If it is coming after other verbs or after preposition, it is object. That's why we say, to whom it may concern. Not to who, but what? To whom. Because it's coming after preposition. Yeah, these are the cases. Then we have modifiers, quickly. Modifiers will always confuse us. When we say modifier, we use them to add more information. You have what you call squinting modifiers. When you have it, and it is possible that it modifies more than one thing, and you are not sure what is modifying. For example, the boss shouted at the secretary, shaking vigorously with anger. What is the problem with this sentence? The boss shouted at the secretary, shaking vigorously with anger. The modifier there is shaking vigorously with anger. Who is shaking with anger? You can see now. Some people are saying the boss, some people are saying the secretary. That is an example of squinting modifier because it will create ambiguity. You don't know where to attach it. You can put it, you can put it shaking with anger. The boss shouted at the secretary. Then you know that it's closer to what it is modifying. You can put it that way. And clarity is very important. We must always be clear when we write. If you are not clear, ambiguity will come in. And squinting modifier will always lead to ambiguity. And parallelism is another thing. When we say parallelism, it means that when we present some items, when we are listing, they must be of equal ranks. If they are verbs, they must be verbs. If they are adjectives, all of them must be adjectives. There's sometimes when we are writing, we are listing, we'll be carried away. You start with adjective. By the time you get to the end of that thing, you put another one that's not adjective. That is what we call faulty parallelism. Let's look at this example. I learned fairness, honesty, and friendliness. That is correct. Why do you think it is correct? Let us look at it. Because we have listed how many things there? 3 things. Fairness, honesty, and friendliness. All of them are nouns. I've learned fairness, honesty, and friendliness. They are all nouns, and they belong to the same rank, equal ranks. Look at the incorrect one. I learned fairness, honesty, and to be friendly. You know, to be friendly there has changed from the rank. It's no more working with them. They are no more parallel. So you be very careful when we are listing. We may not know. They are very important. And signal words, the final part of it, they are very important. Signal words are words that we all, or sometimes phrases, we use them to guide the reader. Without them, the reader may not know what we are saying or what to say. We can anticipate the structure. This is what we follow. If you are reading and you get to a paragraph, that paragraph starts with however. What comes to our mind? You want to start a paragraph and it starts with however. What comes to our mind? It's a kind of change in the pattern of thought. And if you have something like in conclusion, what comes to our mind? That we are getting to the end of that discussion. You can see that it's helping us to anticipate what will come. It will help us to know the ideas that will be developed. So we should always use them. When we are writing reports, we are writing our papers. I always tell my students, if you write your chapter 2 for me, literature review, I don't see all those elements of signal words. If I don't say however, then you are not critical. You are just writing, you are just presenting. And you must not start your paragraph with names of authors. That is what we do when we write chapter 2. Ojebuyi 2010 conducted a study so and so, you end it. You move to another one, Lawal 2024. You move to another one, you are starting with names of authors. It is not appropriate. Use signal word. A study conducted by so and so. You explain it. Similarly, so and so conducted another study. However, a study conducted by so and so gave a different pattern of result. You can see that when you use that, you are guiding your audience to follow you. Your reader will follow you. So we must use them appropriately and lavishly. It's a sign of good competence in writing when you use all these, we call them discourse markers too. And these are the functions they perform. We can use them to enumerate, we can use them to list, we can use them to continue our thought. For example, if you want to enumerate, we can use words like first, second. When you see first, you know that you are expecting second, Abi, or something, or next. You can predict, and or several. If you want to list, you can use something like namely. When you see the word namely, you know that something will follow. Or you see as follows. As follows. As follows is always plural. Don't say as follow. Even if what you are going to present is more than 10, or is many, or is one. As follows is a kind of a rigid phrase. You don't change it. Also, and so on and so forth. Then you want to continue your thought. Moreover, if you see moreover at the beginning of a paragraph, you see end, you see then, all of this will tell you that you are continuing in the same direction. We can also use them to express causality. A is causing B, or B is caused by A. You want to present that one, you can use words like hence, thus, because, consequently. Then similarities, you want to establish similarities. That some entities are of the same nature, equally, similarly. in the same vein. Then if you want to express differences, you use words like conversely. When you are reading and you start a paragraph, you see the word conversely. You know that what the person wants to say is the opposite of what has been said. Conversely, in opposition, on the other hand. All of these are used to show differences. And this on the other hand, please. People always write on the other hand, which is correct. But what is the counterpart of on the other hand? Before we use on the other hand, we have another one. There are two. Please remind me. We use on the other hand, we use another one. No. It is also and. Hand on one hand or on the other hand. Which one is correct? We use on one hand and then on the other hand. Which one is it on the one hand or on one hand? Please, let's talk. On one hand. Okay. It is on the one hand, on the other hand. But many people will use on the other hand, which is correct. When they want to use on one hand, they just say on one hand. Where do you put article D? The correct one is on the one hand and on the other hand. Article D must be in the two of them. Don't say on one hand. It is not correct. So these are the issues that time will permit me to cover this morning. We have some practical example, practical exercise. I don't know if time will permit us, sir, but there are many. Just if I will give you this, what is the problem there? Can we identify the problem? Can we suggest the solution? I don't know if you have time, sir. Okay. Now let's look at this. The committee studied all aspects of the protocol, economic, cultural, and the costs. What is wrong with that first sentence? The committee studied all aspects of the proposal, economic, cultural, and the cost. The cost does not align with the other two. The economic is what? Is adjective. Cultural is adjective. The cost is not an adjective. It's a kind of, it's now. It's now. So we may change it. We can say the committee study all aspects of the proposal, economic, culture, and the cost. You know, all of them are now what? They are now nouns. No one is adjective, no one is now. The house is fighting for the right of the girl child, colon, the right to compete with boys, semicolon, the right to get equal treatment, and they should not be forced into any marriage or early marriage. What's the problem? What's the problem? The house is fighting for the right of the girl child. Right to compete, right to get equal right, and they should not. The last one is the problem. And right to what? Right to marriage. You just change that to right to marriage. Don't compare them to do any marriage. Right to marriage, it will work with other entities. The study shows that single mothers were not only lonely, but also they feel the society does not respect them. The study shows that single mothers were not lonely, but also they feel society does not respect them. The two, we have two ranks here. They are not conforming. The first one is presenting them as a, what do you call it now? It's passive word, passive voice. The study shows that mothers were not only lonely, adjective of a kind, but here we are now using the strong verb. They also feel the society does not respect them. The solution here is that the study shows that single mothers were not only lonely, but also what? Disrespected. The study shows that single mothers were not only lonely, but also disrespected. Simple. It's very straightforward like that. The committee recommended federalism. In addition to federalism, the committee recommended increased responsibility for Nigeria, What is the problem here? What's the problem? The problem here is verbosity. What we can express in fewer words, we now go ahead to repeat it. Look at it. The committee recommended federalism. Full stop. In addition, the committee recommended, in the same line of something, why can't we say the committee recommended federalism and increased responsibilities for Nigeria? Straightforward. Very effective. Then this one. This set of questionnaires are too many to be distributed by one person. What's the problem here? This set of questionnaires are too many to be distributed to. Should be what? Is. Because the verb is agreeing with this set, not with questionnaires. Then the next one is, the needed items include onions, tomatoes, salt, etc. What's wrong here? And we put and. What of etc? Is it appropriate there? No. When you use the word include, or you use the word such as, please do not end your sentence with etc. Because when you say include, it means you are mentioning some out of many. We know already. And if you use such as, you are mentioning some out of many. Just end with end and the final item. Don't say etc when you use such as or when you use include. That's the problem with that. And finally here, the man died without leaving a will as to how his assets and liabilities should be shared. What's the problem? The man died without leaving a will as to how his assets and liabilities should be shared. It's verbose. What is a will? You either say the man died without leaving a will, full stop, or the man died without stating how his assets and liabilities should be shared. Simple. Don't use the two together. And the next one, in Nigeria, many graduates of technical colleges are unemployed. They are idle, doing nothing. Repetition. It's the same thing. But because we want to impress, we just want to be elegant. Don't try to be elegant in official documents. Try to be simple and formal. With a first degree in mathematics and several years of teaching experience, I consider the applicant suitable for the post for which she applied. Any problem here? Any problem? It's not a petition. With a first degree in mathematics and several years of teaching experience, I consider the applicant suitable for the post for which she has applied. The problem is squinty modifiers. Who has first degree and several years of teaching experience? The person who is recommending or the person being recommended. You know there's ambiguity here. Yeah, you can say that I consider the applicant suitable for the post for which she has applied because she has first degree in mathematics and several years of teaching experience. Very simple and straightforward. Thank you and good morning.
Okay, I wanted to say it deserves. Please, another round of applause. Thank you so much, sir. That was a very good one. I want to believe we've all learned. Actually, where I was seated, I was saying to myself, because it's like I don't even understand English at all. All the ones I've been writing before, I'm just, we are just wading through. Thank you once again, sir. Sir, you can still have your seat. We'll bring the microphone to you when you have to answer any question. That will be easier. So please, do we have questions? I believe you should have your questions written right now so that you can just pass it to the front. Anyone? Yes, ma. Okay. Before we answer any questions, anyway, I just want to acknowledge the presence of the Dean, Faculty of Nursing, Professor Priska Adejumo. You're welcome, ma. She walked in while the lecturer was presenting. And our deputy provost is in the house. He has run away. He actually said I shouldn't acknowledge him, but I had to, but he has left. All right, that's Professor S.B. Olaleye. The Dean of Faculty of Dentistry is also seated at the back. He's overseeing affairs. Professor B. Kolude, you're welcome, sir. And we have in the house this morning somebody representing the CMD. We begged him, we appealed, sir, your place is in front. He said, just leave me where I am. So, representing the Professor Otegbayo this morning, CMD, University College Hospital, is Professor M.A. Okunlola. You're welcome, sir. And we have a lot of people online. I'm part of the people online this morning. There are some, we acknowledge every one of them. You know, we have some HODs even seated in our midst this morning. We have some HODs online. And even online, we also have the chairman of the College Capacity Development Committee, Dr. Olushola Ibiyemi, is online. We also have Professor Oyeduni Arulogun, the Vice Chancellor of Chrisland University. She's online. We recognize you, ma. And then we also have Professor J.T. Arotiba, a member of the Council of the University of Ibadan, online. And I also want you to acknowledge yourself. You are very important. Please acknowledge yourself. So, we go right now to the question and answer session. I haven't seen any question brought to me here. But I don't know if there are questions online. Okay, yes, ma'am. All right.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The provost, financial controller, the secretary to the college, and university librarian, and everybody on this side. Thank you very much. I was so excited, being part of this. The last time I was online, and being online, honestly speaking, is different from being physically present. I want to appreciate the lecturer. Thank you, sir. That was a very beautiful one. And some of us, when we speak and when we write, sometimes they're not the same, you know, and I like that part that talked about colloquialism. When some words that we can speak, but when we're writing especially formal letters or formal write-up, it becomes problematic. But my question is, in the exercise that we did, the last part, second to the last question, that says that the Nigerian graduate or something is idle, and then at the end, it now says is idle, doing nothing. Now, when we are writing, I know we are writing for the global market, but for our Nigerian context, honestly speaking, there are times that we need emphasis. So for me, that second to the last question that talks about the graduate being idle, you can be idle, English words, idle, but you can be doing some other things. You can be idle, you may not be gainfully employed. In fact, I think the question says, not employed. Please, I don't know whether we can flag it. Unemployed. So you can be unemployed and be doing 1,001 things. And that is different from being unemployed and idle, doing nothing. So I'm thinking that for our own environment, honestly speaking, it could connote different things. But who am I to say it is correct when the grammarian and the expert have said it is not correct? I just wanted to express that, my opinion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma, for raising that question. Language sometimes is arbitrary and it is contextual. We always warn our students that when we teach you these things, you have to know the application. In our department, our keyword is effective communication. Your communication is effective only when what you tell your receiver is understood the way you express it. So what you have said is perfect. It's because of the context. Our context is formality, is organizational communication. If we are writing for outside people, then we can put a lot of emphasis there. For example, when I teach myself, okay, we are talking of context. We teach you in the university that you don't pronounce sachet as sachet. It's not sachet, it's sachet. Sachet of water. That is the correct pronunciation. Now, listen. Now, because we have taught you that it is not sachet but sachet, you now go to Bodija Market. You are inside the traffic jam, and you see a Bodija woman selling water. You say, madam, give me 1 sachet of water. The woman will say, Baba call me, she may think that we are talking of a different product. So in that context, you communicate in a way that the person you are communicating with will understand. Say sachets, or sachets, or pure water.
Thank you very much, sir. So please, when you come to my office, ask for sachet of water. When I'm going to church, I will put on my beret. But when I want to go and buy, it's beret, sir. Why the beret? When you are going to market and you say, I want to buy beret, they will ask you, where won't beret? Beret! Thank you so much, sir. Okay, this question is from someone, sir, that in a formal letter addressed to a woman, should the salutation be dear ma or dear madam? And then when you are ending the formal letter, which one is more appropriate? Yours faithfully or yours sincerely? That's one of the questions. Okay, I think. Okay, I've been told that I should probably give you all the questions to read and then answer them together. Do we have any other questions, please?
Thank you for asking these questions. Yeah, the first one here is in a formal letter addressed to a woman. Should the salutation say dear ma or dear sir? See, things are changing. Or dear ma, madam, sorry. Things are changing. Even if you know that the person you are writing to, you believe that is a woman, and you say dear ma or madam, the person will tell you that, are you sure that I'm a madam? Things are changing. The issue of this, what do you call it now? This gender problem of this, LGBTQ. So people are being very careful now to write. That is why some people, when they write their email, at the end of the email, they put how they want to be addressed, as she or as he, or as others or anything. Though Trump is trying to reverse that now. We don't know how effective it will be. But there's a confusion in the world. Even sometimes, if you are feeling something online, they will put some gender, something that you won't be able to understand, especially in Canada and some other American countries. So if you are writing, the formality is that you always say dear sir. But if you are sure that the person you are writing to is a woman, put ma or madam or ma'am there. If you are not sure, the person you are writing to, you can say dear sir or ma. You can slash. It's still acceptable. In the past, they will say traditionally it should be sir, either woman or a man. But things are changing because of gender sensitivity. So if you are not sure, you can put sir or man. If you are sure it's a man, put sir. If you are sure, you are very, very sure it's a woman, put man. That's it. The second question here is that ending the formal letter, which one is appropriate? Yours faithfully or yours sincerely? When you are writing formal letter, faithfully is the formal one. Sincerely is more American and is informal or semi-formal. But faithfully is rigidly formal and is British. So when you are writing a formal letter, if you want to end it, you can end it yours faithfully. Somebody can say faithfully. They may not put yours. Or sincerely in semi-formal. But the former one is faithfully. But some people are using sincerely now because of American style. But remember that in Nigeria, we follow the British style. Okay. Another question here. As a professional secretary who attends to a visitor at all time, asking from a visitor, how may I help you? How can I help you? Which one is correct? Yeah. How may I help you? How can I help you? Courtesy is what is you are trying to establish here. So, how may I help you? Is better. It shows some more of it shows some sense of formality and respect. Oh, how may I help you? Sometimes you are making some requests. Your request is a kind of polite request. Oh, may I join the class? If you say, can I join the class? You are expressing your ability to join without even asking the person. You want to join. You are not asking that person that is absolute permission. When you say may shows there that you still defer to that person that he has the power to say yes or no. So may is more appropriate. But the two of them are correct grammatically. But in terms of courtesy, may I is more appropriate than how may I is better than how can I. I hope I've answered the question. Another question here is that what is the meaning of I don't understand this one. Superscripting data. Should faithfully be capital F or small f? Okay. If you write just faithfully without yours, it will start with uppercase. If you write yours before faithfully will start with lowercase. I hope you get it now. Yours faithfully. Then faithfully will start with lowercase. If you just sincerely or faithfully alone, it will start with uppercase. And when we write yours, don't put apostrophe. Because one of the law of the rule says that possessive pronouns should not bear apostrophe. Yours, ours, hers. Don't put apostrophe there. Okay. Superscripting dates. Okay. Maybe when it's asking what is the meaning of superscripting dates in letters and memo. I don't think I understand this. Superscripting. Okay. Oh, I get it. Superscriptings. Okay, the word superscript. When you use 15 raised to power h or so, it is American. It's American. And that is what your computer will always ask you to do. When you type, the computer will automatically take it up. But British style, don't put it up. It should be at the same level. But your computer will not, because computer is dominated by American something culture. And all the inputs there, they are more of American style. So if you don't program your computer to British English, if you type, it will take it up by itself. But be conscious of the people you are writing for. If they request that you use British style, don't superscript your dates. It should be at the same level. What is the clear-cut difference among semi-formal letters, informal letters, and formal letters? This is another lecture. Yes, because it can take us another lecture. Well, simply put, formal letter is strictly and absolutely formal. It is written to maybe authority higher than you are making your request in your environment, establishment. If you are writing to the provost, you are writing to the dean of students, it is formal. You are writing to the head of department, it is extremely formal. And it must have 2 addresses, unless you are using letterhead. If you are using your letterhead, don't put your address again. Put the address of the receiver. If you are not using letterhead, you must put your own address to the right top and then the address of the receiver to the left. You put date in the first address, no date in the second address. And you must put sir or ma. That is what you call subscription, salutation. Before you now put the title. After the title, then you start to write. There are many rules, of course, that we can discuss, but time will not permit us. For example, if you are using your hand to write, do you underline or do you leave a space, or you write in uppercase your title? If you write your title in uppercase, do not leave a space, do not underline. If you write your title in lowercase, you either underline or you leave a line before you start your first paragraph. But if you underline, don't leave another line again. Just start straightforward. And when you end your formal letter, it should be yours faithfully. Yours faithfully. You write, you sign, and you put your official name. Like my own, I will put B.R Ojebuyi or Babatunde Ojebuyi after my signature. But semi-formal letter is semi-formal. It has some element of formality and some element of informality. Letters that we are writing to acquaintances, people who we are not that very familiar, but we are close. We have some element or level of familiarity, but not that close. You cannot call the person by name. You cannot just say, how are you? What are you doing? But you have established a kind of familiarity. For example, you go to the hospital or something. You went to the hospital, and a doctor attends to you very well, and you have become friends somehow. You want to write a letter to him or so, maybe to inform him of what you want to do next, or what you are requesting certain information. You may have to respect that doctor. You cannot just hey, hi. You are not that familiar. You are just knowing each other. I'm not talking of when you have become family friends, you can now go to his house, eat, but just a kind of minor or minimal relationship. That is when you can use informal letter. Semi-formal letter. And you may not need the other address. You can just write, and you can put sir there, or dear Doctor so. You may not say sir. Just say dear Doctor so. You know that there's an element of familiarity there, and there's also element of respect. When you say dear, you may not say dear sir. When you say dear sir, you are being too formal, because the person is already close to you a bit. It's not like your HOD. If you are writing to your HOD, you cannot say dear Professor so to your HOD. You have to write dear sir or dear ma. But to somebody who is close to you, but not very close to you, but you have some element of formal something. You say dear doctor or dear Professor so. That one is fine. And you may not need heading or so. You write, but the language should be a bit formal. You may be somehow informal, somehow formal. You can't go to the extreme of informal, and you can't go to the extreme of formality. That is why it is called semi-formal. Then the informal one, you know it. But I don't know the last time we here have written letters this age because of WhatsApp, all those things. I don't know the last time I wrote a letter too. The letter I wrote then was when I was trying to woo my wife. I still have some copies. I read and I see myself. I'll be quoting some psalm and some. So, semi-formal letter is when you are writing to somebody who is very close to you, your friend, your family members, your brother, your sister, your uncle, that you can call name. You can say uncle, so. You can call it by name. Joel, James, how are you? I hope you are doing well. You can even ask about his dog. How are your dogs doing? When you are writing formal letter. Your jalopy, is he giving you problem or is behaving well now? You can use all those expressions in your informal letter. It is allowed. You can use slang in informal letter. You can use slang, you can use jargon, you can use colloquialism in informal letter. But in semi-formal letter and formal letter, don't use them. I hope I've answered the question. What are the structures of a memo and a formal letter? I've talked about the structure of a formal letter. All the questions you are asking me, they are questions for another workshop. A memo is prepared on a plain sheet, that the sheet that must have, maybe it has been pre-set to have the logo of a department or institution. You can say University of Ibadan or University of Ibadan College of Medicine. Internal memo. You should have that one. Internal memo. After that, after internal memo, you now have a table to the left, to the right. From and to. To the left is from. From, put a colon, your office, your position. What you are holding in that organization. Maybe course coordinator. You want to write to all the lecturers to submit their questions for exam. From exam officer. From exam officer. Then to the right, you can see C distribution below, or to all staff, or to all academic staff. It depends on the number of people you are writing to. Then, to the left, you can have your reference sometime. Memos will always have reference, so that when you want to make reference to it next time, you can say your memo, dated or with reference number so. Must have a reference, or if there's no reference, some memo will not have reference, of course. The memo I write in the hall, I don't put reference there, because it's just from my department, from the hall to the dean of students or to the bursar when we want to ask for money. So we may not put that, but date must be there. If you don't have reference, date will be to the left. If you have reference, reference will be to the left, down the sender. Then the date may be to the right. If there is no reference, the date can be to the left, down. Sometime you may write through somebody from the hall warden to the right, through the dean of students to the bursar or to the vice chancellor. It must be there. So that is the first part of it. Then, if you want to start your memo, don't use DIASA. Don't use DIAMA. There is nothing like salutation in memo. Memo is official communication. Just start with the heading. It must have a heading. And the heading is the same thing as the heading of the formal letter. It must communicate the message. If we read the title of your memo and we cannot say what the memo is all about, it's a bad memo. You must think very well. Say, how do I summarize this message? Because it is the title that will attract the person to treat your work, whether it is urgent or it's not urgent. How they will file it, how they will treat it. So the title is very important. You start what you want to write, and memo is not always long, short, unless it's something that is dealing with a report of a disciplinary case or something. So it's always short. If you have attachment, you indicate it that so copies are attached. If you have copies to be addressed to other people, you put below CC. You put the names of those people that will still receive copies apart from that person. You put their names there so that they know where the memo will go. So that is that. And when you end it, you just say you can say thank you, sir, if you want. You can just say thank you. It depends, but it's not compulsory. And you sign it. You write your name. Don't put your office again unless you are representing somebody. You have put your office on top. If I write to the dean of students from the hall warden, dean of students, I close my memo, I sign it, I put my name. I cannot put hall warden again. It's only my name. Unless the person who is signing, somebody is signing for me, that is when you cannot put your office. Don't put your office at the end of the memo again. The moment is already at the top of the memo. I hope I've answered that one. Yeah, another question that I've not touched. In a formal letter, can we start a sentence with because? It sounds awkward. It sounds awkward. You don't start with because. Sentence can start with because. Grammatically, we can accept it. But stylistically, we always advise that you don't start your sentence with subordinator. Because it's a subordinator. Don't start with because. Because when you say because, you are trying to establish reasons or something. You have to put that one first. You foreground the issue before you now say because. So don't start your letter with because. Don't start formal letter. Even when you are writing, it is not encouraged that you start your sentences with because. I hope that is the simple answer to that. I think I've answered all the questions that I have here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I understand the questions online. I don't know if Mr. Claudius Isamakinde is still ready to ask his question online. Maybe he should type his question. Okay, no. Any other question? I think I saw one. None.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello,
I think
good
the
morning.
secretary to the college would like
I'm online. Good
to
morning.
ask a question.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Well, thank you very much. I joined the provost to appreciate that excellent delivery.
Hello. Can you
We are
hear me?
glad to have you. Well, mine is actually not a question. It's just to request because I believe others will still visit the college website to watch this. So if you can have more examples of all that you have told us about the colloquialism and then the agreements, if we can have more examples, all right? So we will appreciate that so that people can still see, all right?
There are more examples. I may not be able to remember most of them. Like hook, line, and sinker.
Yes, if we can just have it later on.
Later on, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
later on.
We use them every day.
Okay.
Oh, you take the answer hook, line, and sinker. Without thinking, just swallow it. That's an example of colloquialism. So we can. Maybe later we'll do that to send to you.
We appreciate you once again, sir. Dr. Ojebuyi. Thank you so much. Okay, there's one question online. Okay, can we please see the question? You're waiting? Dr. Egwekari, are we sure there's still a question? Okay. All right. We can't hear anything. All right, fine. Okay, we should go on. Thank you very much once again, sir. I'm sure that we'll still invite you again because this is like the beginning of greater beginnings. We have not started. Before we take the closing remarks, I will invite the secretary to the college for one or two announcements.
Well, thank you very much. Well, firstly, let me start by appreciating. I want us to all appreciate ourselves for coming early. That is one of the things that the provost emphasizes, punctuality. And it's something I also emphasize, punctuality. So it's nice to see that we were punctual today. So please, let's endeavor to arrive early for the next edition. That's the 12th edition, which is scheduled for 14th of March. So on that 14th, we'll be considering, the committee has not agreed on the topic, but we are looking at, I learned that the 8th of March is International Women's Day, and the 14th of March is Sleep Day. So the topic will be on either of, the presenter will present on either of those topics. So let's note that date in our diaries. And most of us have collected our certificates for the first 4 lectures. But some people had issues with theirs. Let me just quickly mention Opeyemi Omowumi Stephen. There's an issue with your email address. Olubumi, okay. Okay, I will see her. Helen Olukemi Aluko. Florence Kehinde Oluwaniyi. So please, see Reverend Adetule so that you can have your certificates. So the second batch of certificates will also be ready before the next edition. The rule is you need to attend 4 consecutive trainings to earn a certificate. So this is the 12th. This is the 11th. So for those who have attended 9, 10, 11, 12, you'll be entitled to another certificate. So thank you very much.
I want to believe we have all learned one thing or the other this morning. I would now like to invite our provost, Professor T.O. Ogundiran, to give the closing remarks.
Thank you very much. My closing remarks will be in 2 or 3 phases. One is to ask us, those of us, to identify ourselves, those of us from the main campus. If you are from the main university campus, kindly identify by a raise of hands. So that's quite a small number, but we appreciate your coming. So that means majority of us who are here are from the UCH campus. Perhaps we have more of them online. All right. So we should do a lot to make sure that they participate. As you all would agree with me, this has been a very wonderful session and very illuminating and such that everybody should be part of. Thank you very much. Now, the impact of these sessions, including the one we have had today, will be a way of inviting others when the impacts are seen in us or felt by others who have not been attending. So let's make sure that we make use of all these things that we're learning so that others will be intrigued to want to come as well in attending these meetings. Finally, I'd like to appreciate our lecturer for being so magnanimous and pleasant, and for the insights that he has taken us through. It's like we should continue this English. Is it English 101? Yes. And Mr. Nambaba said that he's going to come again, so we can be sure that by the time we finish, we all have a BA in English language. I appreciate in the audience, I can see Professor Kotila, Taiwo Kotila. You are most welcome, ma'am. We appreciate your coming. So I appreciate all of us, whether virtually or in person, that are here today. We appreciate your coming, and we pray you continue to come. I also appreciate the people who are in the nitty-gritty of organizing these events in the office of the secretary to the college and all the people that work with him. I believe that this is a worthwhile activity that we should continue. And finally, I'd like to appreciate all the people here on this side of the hall, the members of management and the executive committee of the college for their support for this program. I wish all of us a pleasant weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Can we all rise to take the last stanza of the national anthem? The last stanza, please. The last stanza. BCC. Okay, the provost said we should take the first stanza then. All right. The first stanza. Nigeria. Very much and have a blessed PCC. They want to dance Valentine dance, so please give us music.